Looking for a great RPGs that won't fill up your phone? In today's video, we are counting down 10 amazing small-sized gacha RPGs with fun AFK and idle gameplay. They are perfect for low and Android devices while still offering exciting adventures and also rewarding progression. Top 10 small-sized gacha games RPG for mobile. AFK Games IDLE RPG for low-end phone Android. We have a new Facebook fans page now. The name is GameMobile HDgraphic. Besides on YouTube, we will give an update on Facebook as well. A lot of amazing top list games will show up every day, so please check this out now. The link on the description and pin comment. Goddess of Fate Waifu RPG. This game is a very interesting game idle RPG on mobile that looks so attractive. No wonder the game has a 3D visual in the character's portrait while they are having a conversation. But once we do a combat, then the hero suddenly becomes a cute character with a chibi design. I love how the background environment, it just looks so clean, clear and colorful. This is a waifu RPG where the main gameplay is to collect a different hero through gacha that has over 100 heroes in total, manage the strategy, enjoying the story and also make an attraction between the other goddesses. It's set in the world where the sci-fi, biotechnology and also mythology are combining. It's because the world has been changed and done an evolution to create a new races like a mecha, evolved human and also beast folk. We will become a commander to lead the goddess and make the best strategy before the game starts, because the mechanism will run in full of autoplay. The skill showcase looks so charming. It will release once the gauge meter from each of them reach the maximum. It will recover over time. Some dialogue will always show up just before we start a battle. There is no additional data we need to download. The game size is only 1 GB, best gacha game for low-end phones. Demian Saga. This idle game has a huge potential. I would be honest if this game looks so incredibly good in graphic, with a high-level visual and really playable for a mid-range phones. The 3D visual will easily deliver a top-tier skill when we launch it on the combat. It's full of autoplay with a hero collector base. The game is set on the Aegis kingdom that suddenly appeared to conquer the ocean. As the captain, we should gather the other hero from a different faction to seek the legendary treasure and also stop the Aegis army. It has an interesting storyline that focusing on the main gameplay with a sub-optional which are campaign mode, PvP arena, boss raid and daily dungeon. But surely joining a guild would give a huge advantage in the player's progress. The combat mechanism is we need to pick up to 5 heroes. They all will do an auto attack over time and lock the nearest target, so we don't have any chance to navigate or control them. Mostly, we need to do some preparation on the team's management. This game is no pay to win gacha game. As proof, I have more than 3 of SSR heroes freely. Love Esquire RPG Dating Sim. It's a very unique game's concept where the player will get a very good moment about a romance, spirit, enthusiasm, and motivation, as the main protagonist will become a young man who's always tries to become the best day by day through the training from the armory commander. With a status management, we'll let the player decide which attribute status we need to improve through the RPG system. The main storyline is pretty unique. Along the adventure, we'll get so much conversation with love and romance within the NPC. We can increase the bonding by giving the reward or gift. With a nice voiceover, we'll easily deliver the story into a deeper feeling. Surely the quality of the story is top tier. It's simple but on point. The game's combat mechanism are a turn-based system. As the squire, we should always have a support to commander. I didn't even see any attacking option. While the other action we can use is using the items, heal and loot the items from the looting drop item. The winning will always depend on the strategy, not the level only. By the way, the other partner will keep hitting automatically. I love how fun the music is, making the ambience seem so relaxing and casual. Summoner War Sky Arena. It's one of the most popular game gacha turn-based back then. Even right now, it's impossible for me not to put this game on this list because the game has a very cool optimization from the developer, which is Come to Us. If you really have a low-end phone to mid-range device, I would straight to the point to recommend it for you. Trust me, it will run super smooth without any single laggy at all. The game is set in the Sky Arena world where the summoner will fight to each other to get the mana crystal, which is the main powerful resources. The main gameplay is focusing on the collection of the monster. The campaign story mode, Trial Ascension, Rift Raid, and Arena PvP will be so fun to participate in the daily routine. The combat mechanism is a turn-based. We can place up to 3 main heroes. Every monster will have their basic attack, skill, and also the ultimate one. The gauge meter will always fill up once we successfully land a hit to the enemy. More than 100 monsters we can collect with their own element power. My question is, does anyone still playing this game now? Evernight Reawakening. This is a new brand idle game RPG with a portrait perspective, which is the player will have a lot of advantage, because we only need to manage and navigate the entire game just by using one hand and one finger to control the whole gameplay. Even it has an autoplay features, making the game even more addictive and easy to play whenever and also wherever or anytime. If you love to play a dark fantasy theme base, surely this game will be one of the best recommendations to play now, especially since it has been released globally and available on the Play Store and App Store. Honestly, it's quite free-to-play friendly because the developer are always giving a lot of free reward after an update, maintenance, or even when we successfully clear a single mission as the achievement point. The skill animation also looks so amazing at all. Dragon Traveler. This is a new release idle strategy idle game RPG that looks so charming, with an anime art style and has a comedy based on the storyline. Just as you know, it's available on Android, iOS, and even on the Steam. The storyline is pretty unique, where the player will come into the fantasy world where the main character is a legendary dragon that becomes a human form. So we tried to save the world from a huge destruction. It has a campaign mode where the player can enjoy a short storyline for every episode or stage we have. The idle farming features will help the player's progression even when you are not in the online mode. Collect a ton of cool and beautiful heroes and strengthen up to complete in the arena PvP or PvE boss. The developers were very active in making the daily event. The game's combat mechanism are a real-time auto battle, but it's not fully passive. But it's up to you to manage the game to become an autoplay game just by a single tap of the auto icon. Place the hero into a different grid based on the roleplay, like a tanker, mage, warrior, support, and assassin. Heart of Valor. This game is a new release idle gacha game on mobile that is just available on the Play Store. The game is pretty simple, even the visual and graphic look so casual. Not so much effects are available to represent what a high quality game is. Of course, with this level, I'm sure every pawn can handle it smoothly. I tried to find out how to increase the graphic setting, but unfortunately, we can't manage and adjust the visual. That's the reason why this game will be a good to play for all low-end devices now. The storyline is about a world that is going to crash because of the darkness is looking for the Heart of Valor, which is the main energy resources of life. We should gather heroes to get an ancient power to win against the darkness. Breathing Blade Destiny. This game gets inspiration from Demon Slayer. The game's storyline is quite similar to that anime, so you will get the exact experience as the actual anime we know in the movie, which is a good way to get a nostalgic feeling. We'll have a chance to get a different character as a protagonist and also antagonist. The main gameplay is an idle-based concept. We should power up all of your main favorite heroes, but I prefer to suggest you to upgrade the hero with the highest tier level, like an SSR hero, which is the legendary hero will you get since you start the journey as a gift for a newbie player. Overall, I was really amazed with the hero skill showcase. It's just the same as the actual skill effect. I'm a big fan of a Demon Slayer, so I know how it's look exactly. Story campaign, dungeon and boss raid, and any PvE content. Reliant NPC Survival. I'm sure everyone will agree with me if this game will become one of the most attractive anime game RPG gacha on mobile. It just looks optimized perfectly from any idle gacha game I have ever played so far. Especially the new release one will become an NPC who tries to survive from a world that is dominated by a brutal player. The world where you love will get a crisis and are going to destroy into apocalypse world. So we need to save it. The game's combat mechanism are an idle game concept, each 100% run in autoplay. We'll not get any chance to control the hero once we tap the autoplay icon. Unfortunately, the skill showcase seems so simple, and I don't get the special effect once I release the skill. I really hope the developer will make the new version or remake it with a more charming and attractive skill effect. Then I will rate it in 5 stars. Fortress Saga Idle AFK RPG. This game really contains an addiction because we can get a satisfied feeling once we can clear the stage by stage easier. It depends on how strong your character can manage all of the incoming attack from the monster, where they all will always come at us aggressively. We need to make a good strategy and get the best hero on our side to defend our floating castle. Just to let you know, the castle can attack the enemy as well, so we need to stay focused on leveling up the hero's power and also the castle ship. I can enjoy this game so easily in a casual way because I don't have to stay focused on the screen while we are away from the pawn. Remember to like this video and see you on the next list. Thanks.